So thank you so much. We are starting today's session on smart review of your fixed asset fire insurance season two. Uh, I welcome you all on this Saturday to take out time. We'll try to make this session as interesting, as informative as possible. The idea of the presentation is as there are a lot of corporate renewals for property insurance lined up in the first week of April. We thought of doing this session especially to empower our finance and other owner directors, stakeholders who are involved in the process of insurance selection and buying. We thought of empowering with what are the key takeaways they ideally should be considering before they sign off their property insurance policies. With this, I'm also co-introducing my team members. Prasad Ranjankar is here from the underwriting team, and Mahesh Kokitkar from claims and risk management, who will be joining with me today to brief you uh, on various aspects, including the new circular, which is effective 15 December. We will also be talking about what is the right product, because a lot of regulatory changes have happened in the past 4 years, which have not only made the property insurance market volatile in terms of pricing, but also there is a lot of chaos and confusion as to what is the right product applicable. We will deep dive into it and try to solve this mystery as to what kind of products. As you are already aware, there is Bharat Laghu, Sukshma, IAR, SFSP. For a single asset, there are multiple options available, but what is the right fit for an organization, for an occupancy, for a particular unit? We will deep dive into it. So we will also be sharing a copy of this webinar today on our official handle of Insurance Manager. And if you have any queries during the session, please type in the chat box and we'll be happy to take those questions at the end of the session. Uh, it gives me immense pleasure. And with this, I start the presentation. Uh, right, Prasad, next. So this is a very brief summary of the topics which we will be discussing today. Of course, I told you first aspect is the new circular, which is impacting the revised premiums on NatCat rates, especially the STFI peril period, the storm, typhoon, flood, where there is a revision. Then we'll also talk about the new regulation, which is not actually a regulation, but there's a dictate from the reinsurance companies about the hardening of pricing on property. So how it is going to impact, what is the current scenario, what we are foreseeing in the next 45 days, especially with 1st April around the corner. What is the take of insurance companies on these endorsements done by reinsurer, where there's an endorsement, of course, on the insurance companies will have to abide by the minimum premium rates. So we will be discussing this. Second, of course, as I told you, the right product which is applicable. The third aspect we will be discussing as to what are the add-on covers which are applicable for you, which ideally should be part of your basic fire policy to ensure that the coverages are customized as per your nature of business. The fourth aspect we will be deep diving is into the how you can attract quality insurance companies, because insurance was never a price dictated making process. Always there are various factors other than only being the L1, which ideally an insurance manager in the sitting in the corporate has to review before they finalize on their property insurance programs. Because very reason being, a lot of these policies which are sourced have possibility of very high severity claims. So आप हो सकता है 50,000 1 लाख का प्रीमियम देके you are talking about taking a insurance claim of 1 crore or maybe more. So very important that whether the insurance companies are very financially strong, they have the ability to and willingness to pay your claims. So this has to be reviewed. And that can be possible only if you are able to attract the premium insurance companies, which we will tell you how you can do by doing the right risk management practices. Of course, we will also talk about pricing, which is of course very important. So pricing we will also be discussing in detail. Prasad will take us through. Ki so there is one aspect which is the regulatory aspect. If the regulator says that there is some deviations or leeway available on the pricing front, but apart from that, how as risk managers you can improve the risk and attract more insurance companies to participate and give you decent discounts on your pricing. Of course, the sixth aspect which we will be discussing is on the value added services, especially on the property loss prevention program front. How like your electrical audits, thermography, energy audits, and similar aspects of value added services can really help you not only improve the risk but also at the same time lower your premium, because these are two inversely related. It's like if you better the risk, the premium will lower and vice versa. And then we will talk about claims as a practice, and how we manage claims, including what kind of claims we have settled in the past. We will very briefly dwell into those aspects. Yeah, thanks. Right. So we have been talking about property insurance, and especially the reason of doing this webinar is that there is a lot of volatility in the pricing, especially effective 2020 when the first regulation came. Where there was hardening of prices, and the IIB had dictated some burning cost rates to be followed by insurance companies on pricing of insurance premiums. So, for example, say chemical processing units or plastic processing units, the regulator had come up with very predetermined rates for certain for all the industries, and those rates had to be followed. So this happened in 2020, of course, which resulted into a lot of hue and cry within the industry, because a lot of pricing went, or a lot of insurance pricing went up three times from their original expiring rates. But subsequently, there were introduction of Bharat Sukshma and Laghu Udyam product. This happened in April 2021. The idea of this activity by the regulator was that there was a lot of mis-selling happening in the Indian insurance space, especially by bancassurance and other channels. With short-term gains, a lot of these add-on covers were deleted from the policies and sold, and then when the claim had popped up, these claims were not payable. So, in order to avoid such kind of and which was bringing, of course, a lot of defame to the regulator and also overall as an industry. So the regulator thought of streamlining the product coverages, especially for smaller sum insureds of up to 50 crores, and that's why two products were launched. 0 to 5 crores may the regulator launched Bharat Sukshma Udyam, and for 5 to 50 crores the regulator launched Bharat Laghu Udyam. So what does that mean is that the pricing were of course de-tariffed, but the coverage of the policy was standardized, which means that anyone buying these policies will get standardized coverage, which ensured safety to customers in the and which also ensured that a lot of complaints related to mis-sellings and coverage deductions were minimized. Then there was a third in April 22, wherein terrorism earlier, which was mandatory covers under the Laghu policy, was removed, and and terrorism was made an optional cover. Uh, then in April 2023, there was a revised circular wherein discounts were given on certain risk management practices, including firefighting and safety devices for up to 5% and 10% up to overall on no claims experience. But in April 2024, there was a very mega, or I would say a big move in the Indian insurance industry, wherein the regulator, which is IRDA, thought that the Indian market has matured since privatization in 2001. So after 23 years, the regulator said that now the market is mature enough to go on their own. There should be risk-based pricing, and one size fit for all should not be applicable, which also meant that the companies which will be better managed in terms of risk management, firefighting facilities, and where the claims experiences are low, will be able to get better pricing for their insurance renewals. And vice versa, in the sense that those with not well managed regimes will be penalized by either loading or maybe not provided the discounts which vis-a-vis a better managed facility will get. So this was the development. But now, okay, next slide. So now, but with effect from 15th December especially, and 1st January 2025, very recently, as so we are talking just 45 days back, there's a new circular. I think circular would not be the right word. We still used it. Even though IRDA had deregulated all the price policy wordings in the Indian market, all the pricing in the Indian market, wordings and pricing both for the first time. Uh, so there was a lot of insurance companies which had started bleeding because the discounts went up, and which normally what was pursued, that there will be a risk based pricing wherein better occupancies will get higher discounts, and the not so well managed or hazardous occupancies will be not be able to get, so not be able to get discounts. That didn't happen. In fact, everyone started getting discounts, and gradually by November we saw almost discounts as close to 80-85% being given in the policies. uh, so here on 1st January 2025, the reinsurers are the company which backs the insurance companies, which give them support in terms of facultative support in terms of the treaties which or the business which they write. They start agar if you have to do any business with us and if you want any reinsurance support, then you will have to follow the IIB rates. You cannot give any discount. So we now it is basically all the top 4 5 reinsurers, including GIC, Swiss Re, Munich Re, SCOR, AIG, the top reinsurers operating in the Indian market. Almost all have endorsed their policies with such IIB rate endorsements, which means that any insurance company, if they pick up any property premium, ideally has to be on the IIB rates. And if they are not abiding by the IIB rates, they will have to keep that risk on their own book, which means that that will not be reinsured. So with this, which also means that none of the insurance company would like to take such kind of risk on their own balance sheets for the entire sum insured. Which also meant that now the earlier IIB rates are being followed. In fact, there's one more development wherein the STFI, storm, typhoon, flood, inundation rate, especially after the Chennai floods, and there was again a major catastrophe in the northeast, which was resulting into increase of rates in STFI also, which has increased especially in the industrial manufacturing from 0.25, it has went to 37.37 per mille, which is per thousand. And also the Lagu the STFI rates earlier were lesser, which is also now at par with the rates which are applicable in standard fire and IAR policy. So this is again a very important development in the industry. Right. With this, I hand over the session to my colleague Prasad Ranjankar, who heads our underwriting functions for commercial lines. He'll take us all through what is the right product and what kind of hazards are mostly we identify in manufacturing and other warehousing businesses. And then subsequently will be taken over by along with me, myself and Mahesh, as to what kind of solutions we have for those kind of hazards. Yes, over to you, Prasad.
Thank you, Pramod sir. So I'll start with how you will find the right product for your fire insurance or property portfolio. So these are the four options, and the fourth option has some sub-variants also. So for residential home and housing society, you have a Bharat Griha Raksha product. And next upon, for all your offices or factories whose sum insured is up to 5 crore, you have to take a Bharat Sukshma Udyam policy. And for sum insured above 5 crore to 50 crore, you have two options, either Laghu Udyam Suraksha, and for sum insured more than 50 crore, you have SFSP policy. So I will just deep dive on the Bharat Sukshma Udyam, because in Bharat Sukshma Udyam from 1st January onwards, still you will get some discounts. For Laghu Udyam and SFSP product and industrial all this product, you will not get any discounts. And in properties sum insured whose value more than 50 crore, you have couple of options, like you can take a SFSP policy, you can take a industrial all risk policy. There is one more version available with hardly couple of insurance companies is property all risk policy, and new product offered by ICICI Lombard specifically is industrial all risk policy. So we will deep dive for property all risk policy and IR Supreme policy in our next slide. So these are the typical coverages of our fire insurance product. So these are the inbuilt coverages for SFSP, and you will get some added benefits in Bharat Sukshma and Bharat Laghu Udyam policy. So I will just try to run you through for some inbuilt coverages. So these are the coverages which are inbuilt in SFSP, Bharat Sukshma and Bharat Laghu Udyam product, and terrorism is optional for all three products. So what you will get in SFSP product and what is expected in your Sukshma and Laghu Udyam product is these are the add-on cover which are inbuilt in Sukshma and Laghu Udyam. So what Pramod sir mentioned in April 2021, the Sukshma Udyam and Laghu Udyam product had been introduced. So these are the core add-ons and these are the inbuilt coverages are added into a Sukshma Udyam and Laghu Udyam products. So these are the add-on covers which are become a inbuilt coverages in your Sukshma and Laghu Udyam product, so that any mis-selling or ignorance done by the any of your maybe a agent or a bank insurance channel, that will not hamper you if the sum insured is 5 crore and up to 50 crore. So Bharat Sukshma and Laghu Udyam cover with comes with the inbuilt coverages. Right. So now we will talk about the IR product. So if your sum insured is 50 crore and above, so you have couple of options. As I mentioned, you can either take a SFSP policy, you can take a IR policy, okay, and you can take a property all risk policy and IR Supreme policy. So what is the difference in property all risk and IR Supreme policy? So this is a new product introduced by ICICI Lombard, wherein you will get a material damage coverage for your fire section. So as in earlier slide I mentioned, there are 12 perils comes with the fire insurance policy. So in property all risk and IR Supreme policy, the fire section will become all risk cover, and you have an option to take either MBD policy, okay, and you have option to take a FLOP policy. Okay, so when I say option, you can actually opt out. In IR policy, you have to take all three coverages, fire plus MBD and business interruption cover. But in property all risk and IR Supreme policy, you can only opt for all risk section of fire cover. Okay. So these are the beauty of product. So be in touch with us if you need or you are willing to upgrade your fire policy. So we can have an option of property all risk and IR Supreme. However, it comes with a catch. The deductible is higher in this, but it will cover for all risk section. Okay. So I'll move ahead. Yes. The next topic is maximizing add-on covers. So one topic is either you take a SFSP policy and IR policy, and either you take a property all risk and IR Supreme. So next offering is from us that we will try to give all the maximum possible relevant add-on covers, which at the time of claim it will ensure your payouts will be minimum increase by 50%. So all this add-on cover help because post loss, okay, when you have to start up all your operations, these are the relevant add-on cover will make sure that insurance company is paying you for all those expenses which are requirement to start up your operations. So I will deep dive on for a couple of add-on covers like a spontaneous combustion. If you don't take this as an add-on cover, any losses happen from static electricity or unexplained losses, like there are some products or raw materials which can start fire on its own. Okay, so spontaneous combustion add-on cover comes handy at that time. And electrical injury clause. So electrical injury clause, I will give you some example in a very short explanation. Like if there is a losses happen in your AC outer unit, okay, and subsequently that loss engulf entire into your premises. Okay, so at the time of claim calculation, insurance company will uh, reject the expenses for your AC outer unit. So by having this electrical injury clause, insurance company will have to add on, or uh, insurance company has to make sure that absorb the expenses done for that outer unit expenses also. So these are the add-on cover which will make sure that your claim settlement is increased by 50%. And very important, waiver of under insurance. Okay, so if there is a under insurance, either voluntarily or okay, or by mismanagement from your side, so insurance company will not penalize your claim if there is under insurance. Okay, so this is about the maximizing about the add-on covers. Okay, so now we will come about how you will attract the premium insurance, because by having a premium insurer will make sure that insurance company has a willingness to pay your claim and also ability to pay your claims. Okay, so there are some 5 6 private insurer who have a good ICR, okay, and solvency margin. And when I say solvency margin, they have a capacity to pay your claim, because by paying 50 or 1 lakh rupees premium, you are expecting your insurer will back you for your property insurance, whose sum insured is ranging from 1 crore to 150 crore. So you have to make sure that you will attract the premium insurance who are capacity to pay your that much claim. Okay, so expect a negative scenario, that there is a total loss and now entire 100 crore or 150 crore or sum insured at stake. So insurance company in turn expect some best management practices, okay, so that at the time of claim, okay, the risk minimization is managed from your side. So there are a couple of things that insurance company expect: that adequacy of firefighting equipment, housekeeping practices, storage practices, and electrical and fitting installations are done from your side. So we will deep dive on all these aspects. Okay, so this is very basic expectation from insurance company side regarding the fire extinguisher practices. All your fire extinguishers should be kept on the eye level. Your fire extinguisher should not be expired. Okay, your fire extinguisher should not be kept in haphazard condition, or it should not be accumulated at one area. It should be like this. Okay, and it should be like stationed at some distances, like 50 or 150 meters. Okay, and it should be at eye level. Okay, this is very important, because at the time of losses it should be accessible for by your workers. Okay, and workers should aware that how this fire extinguisher should operate at the time of losses. Okay, now the next topic is hydrant system and sprinkler system. So if your facility is having the hydrant system and sprinkler system, first of all, it should be working in auto mode. And when I say auto mode, and why it should not be a manual mode, because at the time of losses, okay, जब भी फायर होती है, ठीक है, तो वो फायर देख के पब्लिक तो पहले भाग जाती है, आपके वर्कर्स पहले निकल जाएंगे वो एरिया को, ठीक है, खाली कर लेंगे. सो देयर शुड बी समवन, ठीक है, टू ऑपरेट ऑल दोज लीवर्स. ओके, जो वो मैनुअल लीवर को हैंडल करना है. सो ये होता नहीं है प्रैक्टिकलिटी में. So your sprinkler system should be kept in auto mode, so that all these electrical fire pumps will work on their own. Okay, and it should have a adequate water supply, and it should not be a scenario like that ki this water supply is used for your production purpose. Okay, the dedicated water supply should be there, so that all your diesel pump, all your electrical pump and jockey pump will work and on their own. Okay, so next topic. Okay, automatic sprinkler system. So as I said in the previous slide that all your sprinkler system should kept in auto mode. This sprinkler system control panel should be serviced regularly so that this sprinkler will start their operation at the time of losses. Okay, so this operation has to be there. This maintenance has to be there periodically. Next is fire detection and alarm system and smoke detection system. If your facility is having the gas detection and smoke detection and fire alarm system, it should be maintained regularly. Okay, it should not be kept on some temporary platform, because at the time of losses, uh, it might fall on their own. Okay, and your PA system should work. PA system means your personal announcement system should work, because this alarm system will work as a siren and alarm for all your workers. Okay, so that it gives a alarm to your maintenance team that there is a fire in this confined area. Okay, so please have a look, and if the hydrant system and auto sprinkler are not in auto mode, it should be on a manual mode. Okay, so this fire detection and alarm system plays a very important role. Next is storage practices. So this should be avoided. Okay, basically insurance company expect all your stock of raw material or finished good stock kept in a palletized racking. So it should be expected like this, and this should be avoided. Okay, storage rack till roof should be avoided, because if you have a rack till roof, your electricity bulbs emit some heat. Okay, and this heat will eventually start a fire on these stocks. Okay, so this practice should be avoided, and this should be expected. Palletized racking storage system. Okay, now these are very serious. Okay, you expect that these are very negligible, but these are very serious practices, that your hydrant point and hose rail should be accessible at the time of claim, accessible by your maintenance team as well, and accessible by fire brigade team as well. Okay, so your hydrant point should not be obstacle like this. Okay, any hose reel missing from the hose dam should be avoided, and any scrap should be regularly weekly cleaned up from your premises, though these practices should be avoided. Okay, any scrap should be cleaned, and any obstacles in front of your hydrant point and hose reel and hose dump, okay, this has to be maintained in 100% correct basis. Passive fire protection. Okay, electrical cable passes, this also plays very important role. Okay, this means these are the various types of wires or cables passed from couple of walls. Okay, either you have a separate walls for your raw material storage area, because these walls keep your operation separate from your raw material area and production area. If those wall and cable passes are open, if any area having a fire, it will eventually travel to the area which having a your raw material. Okay, so all those wall openings should be concealed by fire retardant paint and cable sealing. Okay, so if you think this is very negligible thing, but it plays very important role at the time of claim. Now these are some housekeeping practices should expect from your side, that your your electricity panel room should be clean, it should be obstacle. Okay, it should be having rubber mats, because storage of LPG cylinder should be avoided at this nearby area. Okay, any diesel spillage at DG room should be cleaned. Okay, cleaned at daily basis. Okay, and open and loose wiring nearby area, and basically entire plant and machinery area should be removed permanently. Okay, so how you will expect a best discount from insurance company? Obviously, there are some external factor which you as a customer cannot do anything, because the regulatory circular we have to adhere. Okay, hazard related to business operation, if you are into plastic and chemical, okay, you cannot 100% avoid your hazards, but what you can do is your plan of action, your preparedness to a risk management practices, which we just got discussed, and your past loss experience. Whenever there is a losses, insurance company expect that you should learn from your past loss experience, and you should try to mitigate the core findings of those losses. So by having this, you will expect the best discount from insurance company. Okay. So by this, I will hand over Pramod sir for discussing the loss prevention activities. Over to you, Pramod sir.
Right. Thanks, Prasad, for highlighting the areas of hazards normally in manufacturing and warehousing setups. With this, we so the idea of the session today was not only to blow out the challenges, but also as insurance and risk managing company, what we can do and how can we work closely with businesses to improve on their risk. So thanks to companies like ICICI Lombard who are helping us to in this process, we have also set up our own team. Mahesh Kokitkar from our team drives the value-added services on the property front, who in turn closely coordinates with various insurance companies and also risk engineers and safety engineers to implement or to correct those areas of which were highlighted, especially Prasad in the earlier slide. So what with our experience, what we have seen, what are the challenges is mostly this mid-sized companies are run by promoter owners who are so much engrossed in their day-to-day operations of businesses, wherein the whole focus is to drive volumes of business, and also ensure that there is a healthy bottom line. In this process, somewhere the management of risk on the property side is left behind. So here we step in. As I told you, the other challenges, what we have seen is lack of dedicated. Normally, in large corporations, we have seen OHSA, ESG heads, which such kind of profiles are missing in mid-sized companies. So there is a lack of dedicated health and safety teams. Similarly, most of these manufacturing and warehousing risks are single block units, wherein normally if you see large manufacturing units where there is within one compound wall, there is one area of raw material storage, one main process block, and then finished goods storage area. So but this is missing in mid-sized companies. Normally we see a very single block जिसमें ground floor पे प्रोडक्शन होता है और फिर बाद में बाजू में ही डिस्पैचेस हो रहे हैं ऊपर नॉर्मली जो कटिंग एंड फिनिशिंग जॉब होता है एंड सब्सिक्वेंटली स्टोरेजेस होते हैं तो यहाँ पे बिकॉज इट इज ऑल स्टोर्ड इन वन ग्राउंड प्लस टू और ग्राउंड प्लस थ्री स्ट्रक्चर द पीएमएल प्रोबेबल मैक्सिमम लॉस यहाँ पे ज़्यादा होती है फिर उसके अलावा तो विच इज so high PML concentration is again one of the areas. Similarly, firefighting facilities are either not adequate or maintained. When I say not adequate, I also mean that mostly just say hydrants and sprinklers or smoke detectors, fire alarms, CCTV cameras. So a lot of these stuff are missing from the managing the risk. And what we have also seen is, for example, even hydrants where they are installed, most of these hydrants don't work at the time of any uncertain scenarios. So the reason being because most of the time they are not maintained. So यहाँ पे हमारी जो expectation है कि वो ऑटो मोड में हो ताकि जैसे प्रसाद ने भी हाईलाइट किया कि whenever there is an incident, so normally even if you have the safety team, maybe the person will try to save his life first, and that's the reason maybe the hydrant may not be operated in itself agar if it is on a manual mode. Similarly, lack of housekeeping practices. So these are the few areas which we have seen very common among mid-size companies, which not only increases the quotient of risk for the company itself, but also attracts the insurance companies are then not ready to give favorable discounting in such proposals, or else you may get an insurer who may not be financially strong. See, the whole idea of doing this knowledge sharing session is that you are able to sign off your deal with all those things with a reputed insurance company, and that is possible when you also manage your risk better, make it more saleable, the whole value proposition to the insurance company, so that they come and participate in the proposal and give you better pricing. So that is the whole objective. Thanks. Next slide. So with this, on the solutions front, what are the areas which we can offer as a service provider for risk management? So broadly, we have 5 areas which we are doing. One is the fire safety audit for electrical fittings. Thermography is the second. We also help in detailed energy audit, valuation of assets, and other offerings which will be taken over by Mahesh. So I'll start with electrical and fire safety audit first. So if you see most of the industrial fires, the reason is a very single big cause, which is electrical overheating, short circuiting, or arcing. So and this can be really avoided by having a good diagnostic. So that's why this safety audit comes in picture. It not only helps you identifying all the electrical hazards, as in loose wirings, overheated wires, areas where static charges can be developed or are being developed, because which can again result into sparks, and if it falls on stock area, it can result into fire. Similarly, the engineers go to the plant. They also review your electrical systems, and what all I am talking now, there is a very detailed audit report which is compiled by our team and presented to you. What is expected is that the plant head, along with the electrical and maintenance team, work on these recommendations and do the implementations, which will not only improve the risk, but at the same time also ensure insurance companies are also comfortable writing the risk, because no client wants such kind of eventualities. And if it can be avoided, or it can be identified at an early stage, there is a very high chance that we will be able to get over it. Similarly, the other aspects of electrical audits are your so for example, Lotto method and interlocks का review करते हैं, a review of lightning arresters, hazard area classification, especially if you are dealing with solvents or any other hazardous material, what kind of SOP we should ideally follow around those areas. कितने डिस्टेंस पे इलेक्ट्रिकल फिटिंग्स होनी चाहिए, वहाँ पे क्या टाइप के पोस्टर्स लगे होने चाहिए, जिससे आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज एज इन वर्कर्स को भी बता सके कि what has to be done, what not to be done, do's and don'ts. रिव्यू ऑफ स्टैट्यूटरी कंप्लायंसेस है, जो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इंडियन इलेक्ट्रिकल रूल्स एंड इलेक्ट्रिकल अथॉरिटीज. Similarly, review of electrical accidents and near misses. Agar if there is any log, we can review that and help you to identify some common areas, and work with your safety team to improvise on those readings. And review of working systems. So these are a few broad areas which the electrical fire safety audit comprises of. Thanks. The next is thermography. We spoke about electrical fire safety audit, but which is a diagnostic report, but thermography again is a detailed, I would say, a few further lead into the electrical fire safety audit, wherein all those LT panel areas and other critical areas, including transformers, DG sets, and your control panel areas, are being diagnosed with infrared cameras. So if you see in the screen, the photo on the left side is a thermographic camera which identifies hotspots, red hotspots especially, which have possibility, which identifies. See, most of these overheating wires cannot be seen through naked eye. The thermography camera helps you to identify those points which are overheated, which requires removal or change. So this is these cameras click such kind of areas where the heat resistance temperature is on the higher side, and once it is identified, that is made part of the report and given to the, of course, to the corporate for the implementation. It's a non-intrusive and non-destructive method, helps in detecting poor connections and unbalanced loads. Similarly, the idea is basically to help the electrical and maintenance team well in advance to identify those areas which have probability or possibility of a claim in future, and what we can do to avoid such claims by identifying those hazard areas and correcting them. Next. Detailed energy audit. This is basically see what so an efficient energy system is also the one which will ensure that there is the claims are less. So यहाँ पे ये एक risk mitigation नहीं है. In fact, lot of these finance heads they are liking it, wherein your current systems will be reviewed. और उसमें जो आपका एनर्जी का कंजम्पशन है, इलेक्ट्रिकल या और भी जो आप एनर्जी कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं टू रन योर प्लांट और वेयर हाउसेज और अदर ऑफिसेज ऑल्सो, वी कैन डू दीज ऑडिट्स हियर. दे विल आइडेंटिफाई कि अगर कोई लीकेजेस है. So it's a very detailed audit, including your current electrical bills, your cooling tower, DG set, transformers, जहाँ जो इलेक्ट्रिकल से रिलेटेड डिवाइसेस है, और अगर वहाँ पे कोई एफिशिएंसी बिल्ड करने का स्कोप है, especially to reduce your electricity cost. So these are done by BIS certified energy auditors who are on our panel, and whole idea is to cut down on your electricity cost. In fact, we have done similar activities in couple of manufacturing units, and we have seen close to 5 to 6% savings on those energy consumption costs which they were incurring year on year. In fact, all these estimates also come with workout payback period as to what kind of investment should be done and what is the payback period of those investments once done in terms of energy savings over a period of time, right? Okay, the other area where we help is the valuation services. So, as you are all aware, that insurance works on reinstatement value, which is new for old, and mostly companies which have their asset registers on gross block. Mostly, you will see WDV and gross block values, but with the foreign exchange fluctuations and also the metal index, machinery is building, the cost of inflation is going up year on year. यहाँ पे we work with certified engineers, valuers who help us in valuing your assets rights on reinstatement valuation. The most common methods are indexation, wherein the RBI indexation method is used. There is market pricing method. This is basically to arrive at the market cost. Nothing to do from insurance perspective, but this is again one thing which we do. And third is the recent purchases, which basically helps you to identify कि अगर आपने मशीनरी, आपके पास 10 मशीन है सिमिलर टाइप की, और आपने लास्ट मशीन क्या प्राइस में खरीदी थी, उस बेसिस पे भी हम लास्ट 10 मशीन्स का एक एवरेज प्राइसिंग वर्कआउट करते हैं. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम सर्वेयर्स don't rely only on one single method, but a combination of all these three, including agar if you have inter-unit transfer sales machines or second machines which you have bought, or there are molds, dies, or other aspects, like for example, if you have stocks at the other locations, or if you have got some assets, if you are leasing out some, if you have taken a property on lease, sometimes the owner gives you some assets along with the original structure. So those kind of valuations are done to ensure that you insure it right. And if you do it right, there is very high possibility that your claims will be settled on the right value. because this is one again a gray area which we have identified with our years of experience, that up to 30% of the claims are deducted because of a wrong valuation of assets. So as I told you, sum insured is a very important aspect. Where if the assets are not valued right, it results into financial loss. Under insurance is most prevalent, we have seen, and full protection can be offered provided the right valuations are done. With this, I hand over the session to Mahesh Kokitkar, my colleague who drives our risk management and claims for commercial lines. He will help us to deep dive on the other offerings in the value-added services. These are mostly applicable for warehousing risk. Over to you, Mahesh. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Uh, we are offering other offerings in few vast activities like फायरबॉल एक्टिविटी. ये जो फायरबॉल्स है ये हम लोग इंश्योरेंस कंपनी थ्रू अरेंज कर देते हैं कस्टमर्स के लिए, लाइक आवर स्पेसिफिक क्लाइंट्स फॉर विच आर लॉयल विद अस एंड विथ रिलेशनशिप विद द लॉन्ग टाइम. सो ये फायरबॉल्स है, ये इसके बेनिफिट्स है, ये 1.5 kg का फायरबॉल है और इसका लाइफ जो है, स्पैन लाइफ है वो 5 years का है. और ये इजी इजी टू अप्लाइंग है. और ये अगर एक जगह पे स्टैंड होगा तो 75 डिग्री अगर टेम्परेचर हीट होता है तो ये सेल्फ कंबस्ट हो जाता है और 10 to 12 square feet का एरिया वो कवर कर देता है. ठीक है. सो ये हम लोग इलेक्ट्रिकल पैनल्स रूम्स और जो स्पेसिफिक एरियाज है फैक्ट्रीज वेयर हाउसेज में, वहाँ पे हम लोग ये इंस्टॉल करते हैं. नेक्स्ट. सेकंड है ये सेफ्टी पोस्टर्स. ये हम लोग नेशनल सेफ्टी काउंसिल के थ्रू, को ब्रांडिंग के थ्रू हम लोग ये क्लाइंट्स को प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं जो एज पर रिक्वायरमेंट. नेक्स्ट. अगेन ये थर्ड वास एक्टिविटी है जो इलेक्ट्रिकल आईओटी डिवाइस जो इलेक्ट्रिकल पैनल्स में हम लोग इंस्टॉल कर देते हैं, जिसके बेनिफिट्स है रियल टाइम ऑफ करंट, वोल्टेज, सेफ्टी में वोल्टेज प्रोटेक्शन, हाई वोल्टेज अलर्ट, फ्लक्चुएशन हिस्ट्री. ये आपको रियल टाइम में एप्लीकेशन के मोबाइल के थ्रू हैंडी हो जाएगा. और एनालिटिक्स में एनर्जी कंजम्पशन पैटर्न, ऑटो रिपोर्ट जनरेशन. ये आपको एक डिवाइस जो है ये इलेक्ट्रिकल पैनल्स में इंस्टॉल्ड होता है और उसके थ्रू एक ऐप आता है जो हर एक मोबाइल में हम लोग इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, जिसके थ्रू ये हम लोग रियल टाइम एक्टिविटी चेक कर सकते हैं. जो कि ये एक्टिविटी पेड है इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के थ्रू जो आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड प्रोवाइड करती है. नेक्स्ट. ये सब जो एक्टिविटी है इसका लाइफ साइकिल है. जैसे हम लोग वैस एक्टिविटी इंटीमेशन आता है, फिर रिस्क इंजीनियर जो है अपॉइंट करते हैं, फिर म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग के थ्रू हम लोग डेट रिजर्व कर देते हैं क्लाइंट के एंड से. फैक्ट्री प्लांट मैनेजर है, प्लांट हेड है या मेंटेनेंस टीम से, एंड फैक्ट्री विजिट करते हैं. देन इंस्पेक्शन करके रिपोर्ट फॉलोअप करके हम लोग रिकमेंडेशन जो होते हैं वो क्लाइंट को शेयर करते हैं विथ डिस्कशन एंड इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं. नेक्स्ट. नेक्स्ट. ये बेसिक रिकमेंडेशन है जो इलेक्ट्रिकल फायर सेफ्टी ऑडिट रिस्क इंस्पेक्शन में आते हैं. लाइक ट्रांसफार्मर का जो सिलिका जेल है वो एग्जॉस्ट हो जाता है, लाइटनिंग अरेस्टर इंस्टॉल नहीं होता है, फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर एडिक्वेसी नहीं होती है या सर्वर रूम्स में स्पेसिफिक नहीं होते. 24 आवर सिक्योरिटी अवेलेबल प्लांट में है, फैक्ट्रीज में है, वेयर हाउसेस में है. हाइड्रेंट सिस्टम प्लांट में है तो क्या टाइप है, ऑटो मोड पे है या मैनुअल मोड पे है. लूज वायरिंग चेक करते हैं. स्मोक डिटेक्टर्स इंस्टॉल्ड है कि नहीं. देन इलेक्ट्रिकल सेफ्टी नॉट प्रॉपरली मेंटेन्ड. ऑक्यूपेशनल सेफ्टी लाइक फर्स्ट एड किट अवेलेबल है, पीपीई किट अवेलेबल है, प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं कस्टमर्स एम्प्लॉयज के लिए. परमिट्स और लोटो सिस्टम अवेलेबल है कि नहीं. परमिट्स लाइक हॉट वर्क परमिट, कोल्ड वर्क परमिट एंड लोटो सिस्टम्स जो मेंटेनेंस में जो मशीन्स होते हैं उनके लिए लोटो सिस्टम फॉलो होते हैं कि नहीं है. स्प्रिंकलर इंस्टॉल्ड है कि नहीं है. एंड मेजर मॉक ड्रिल्स वहाँ पे होते हैं कि नहीं, जब भी फायर होते हैं तब एम्प्लॉयज और जो भी होते हैं वो पैनिक सिचुएशन में भाग जाते हैं, तो वो पैनिक सिचुएशन में क्या करना होता है, तो उसका कोई मॉक ड्रिल किया जाता है कि नहीं, ये हम लोग वहाँ पे रिकमेंड कर देते हैं। नेक्स्ट, ये स्लाइड पे मैं प्रमोद सर को ओवरव्यू करता हूँ, ये डिस्कस करें।
Thank you, Mahesh, for taking us the vast offerings and the process which you follow to implement those activities at our clients for our clients. With this, I also wanted to talk because this is a property and claims is the moment of truth. Effective claims management, I would say, is our USP. Right from documentation of claims, drafting intimations to surveyors, negotiating with surveyors on the claims assessments and settlement with insurance company. This all falls under our purview. We have been settling more than 10,000 plus claims in a year, including and majority of these claims, of course, come from employee benefit policies. Then comes the next property claims, marine, liability, credit, and then the retail claims, especially on the health and motor front, which comprises 12% of the total claims. यहाँ पे we also wanted to talk अगर if any corporate has any claims which are pending now uh, because we are also very happy to share. In fact, I missed out that we have got our license. Insurance Manager continues to be our brand name, but our company name now is Riverbank Insurance Brokers Private Limited. We are an IRDA certified insurance broker now. We got the license in the month of May 2024. Uh, and I want to express my gratitude to all our clients, insurers, and all the team members, which has made it possible. Also wanted to highlight that claims consulting is something which is now allowed by IRDA. So, agar if you have any claims which are pending, maybe property claims, marine claims, motor claims, health claims which are stuck up, and if you are not able to conclude on those claims, or if they are not being settled, or if there is any distress settlement in terms of delay, or the quantum of claim which the insurer has settled is not to your expectation, आप हमें बताइए. We will review this, and whatever best possible can be done on those claims, including taking it up with the insurance companies. Even though that those claims may not be with us, we would be happy to help. So with this, I would like to propose a vote of thanks. Where we Our session is complete, and again I would like to thank each one of you who has come and on a Saturday morning uh, to attend this session. We hope that this session was informative, and definitely agar if you feel that this session would help you in your process of informed decision making on insurance products and services, please drop in a comment, and we would be happy. And if you have any other comment, good or bad, please let us know, and we would that would help us to improvise and come up better in future. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone.